Hello viewers, welcome again to the second part of the introduction to research, and we will continue to look at the overview of the key concepts and methods in research. So this is the part 2, still building on the background to research. So understanding the background is very important, because once you understand the background, the complex part of research, it will be easy for you to understand. So that is why I'm taking you step by step for you to grasp the concept about research. So first of all, in this part, I'm going to take you through the types of research. Research by purpose, which involves the basic research. Basic research builds general knowledge, and it is theory oriented. So it also refers as a pure research concerned with adding to the body of knowledge in general, and as such it is not aimed at solving a particular practical problem. It may be termed as attempts to gain knowledge for the sake of knowledge. So this type of research by purpose is the body of knowledge may in the short run seem as though it does not have any practical output, but perhaps in the long run have many practical applications. And pure research is mostly concerned with the development of theory. So, and then the second point in the research on the research by purpose is the applied research, which solves specific practical problems. So it can also be called action research. It is a research that is conducted to get knowledge of a specific phenomena, and it aims at giving answers to immediate problems or questions that the researcher may have. So the output of applied research is usually in the form of conclusions or recommendations to address the stated specific research objective that was set out. Now, in the other aspect, the second category of the type of research is by design. So research by design involves one, the qualitative research, which explores meaning and understanding, and quantitative research, which measures and predicts outcomes with data. So research by design, qualitatively, it includes designs, techniques and measures that do not produce discrete numerical data. So qualitative data can be collected through direct observation, participant observation, or interview method. So qualitative research includes an array of interpretive techniques which seek to describe, translate, and otherwise comes to terms with the meaning, not the frequency of certain more or less naturally occurring phenomena in the social world. So qualitative research aims to achieve an in-depth understanding of situation. Qualitative research is also designed to tell the researcher how the process and why the meaning and things happen as they do. So qualitative techniques are used at both the data collection and data analysis stages of a research project. So at the data collection stage, the array of techniques include focus groups, individual depth interviews, case studies, ethnography, grounded theory, action research, and observation. Now, having talked about that, get to also know the difference in quantitative research. What quantitative research is all about. Then you compare it with qualitative research. So now the quantitative research includes designs, techniques, and measures that produce discrete numerical or quantifiable data. So the main focus for quantitative research is the use of these measurable observations to explain and predict various outcomes or results. So within quantitative research, prominence is given to quantitative data, and now this data may help the researcher reach his conclusions. We have the disparity between qualitative and quantitative research. In qualitative research, what is the focus? The focus is on interpretation, and the sample type is non-probabilistic, and then the data is based on verbal observation, pictorial. Then the analysis is based on human-centered, while quantitative research focuses on the measurements, and the sample is probabilistic in nature, and the data is numerical. Analysis is a computerized or computer-based program. Then we have a mixed method type of research. Mixed method. So what are this mixed method? Is the combination of the qualitative and the quantitative research design. It combines qualitative and quantitative techniques in mixed method, and then they offers a comprehensive understanding of the outcome, and then they compensate for the limitations of using a single method. So both the qualitative and quantitative methods have certain drawbacks, and this has led to popularity of the mixed method approach. So this approach takes into account various techniques, data collection, and analysis strategies to conduct the research. So in combining both, it has to do with numerical and non-numerical data. So what are the key terminologies used in research? The key terminologies used, number one is, there are various terminologies that are used in the areas of research for you to really understand the concept and the process. It is important for you to understand these terminologies. So number one is the concept is an abstract ideas. The abstract ideas. So these are abstract symbols, a representation of an object, one of its properties. Now, research begins with the formation of concepts to describe the empirical world. Now, variables. A variable may be termed as anything that can be measured. That is, any phenomena that can assume numerical values. So these variables are derived from the concept that have been laid out, or those that the research is concerned with. The dependent variable, independent variable, and the moderating or control variable, as the case may be. Dependent variable, it is a variable of interest to the researcher. It is the variable that the research set out to explain. And then, in the other hand, independent variable, also referred to as explanatory or predictor variables. This may be termed as the factors or variables that cause changes to the dependence variable. So they influence movements or change in the dependent variable in one way or another. So independent variables refer to any variable that can be manipulated. And then the moderating variable modify the relationship between independent and dependent variables. And then lastly is intervening variables, and of course we still have control variable. So intervening variable is a hypothetical internal state that is used to explain relationship between observed variables such as independent and dependent variables in empirical research. So now the control variable seeks to ensure a causal relationship exists between independent and dependent variables. Another terminology which you come across in research is the hypothesis. Hypothesis is a statement of unproved claim or proposition that is empirically testable. So now there are two types of hypotheses, and one is a null hypothesis. A null hypothesis is a statement that shows that no relationships or difference exists between the dependent or independent and independent variable. Now the second type of hypothesis is alternative hypothesis, which has two types again, that non-directional and alternative directional hypothesis. So the major difference here is among the two is in whether the hypothesis as stated indicates the directional nature of the relationship between the variables. So alternative directional hypothesis specifies the nature of the relationship between the variables, and this relationship may be positive, negative. On the other hand, non-directional hypothesis simply state that there exists a relationship between the variables without qualifying the nature of the relationship. And then thank you for your attention, and thank you for watching.